Talk about home runs. The Toronto Blue Jays bring the top power lineup in baseball. 99 homers to Petco tonight. And how about Padres starter John Garland against the Blue Jays? An impressive 11-2. Monday night at beautiful Petco Park in San Diego, the opener of a 3-game series. The Padres welcome the Toronto Blue Jays from the American League. Interleague play continues. And good evening, everyone. Dick Henberg along with Mark Grant. The Padres in first place by a game in the National League West. Toronto's 4 games over 500, but they're in 4th place. They're in that East with New York, Boston, Tampa Bay.
Tough division. And you got to score some runs. You got to have some good pitching. The Toronto Blue Jays have positives in certain categories, and that's one of the things we're going to look out for in this series. They've got some power in that lineup.
And don't be misled. They've saved their 3 best pitchers, all with solid winning records against the Padres in this 3-game series. But they do hit the long ball.
Stay out of the zone. Stay out of the happy zone up. Why? Because this is what's going to happen. You got guys like Bautista. You've got guys like Wells. You've got guys like Gonzalez. And when you talk about those guys, Bautista has 18 home runs. Wells has 15 home runs. Gonzalez has 13 round trippers. And that's not a bad combination when it's 3, 4, 5 in the lineup. And here you go. Most home runs this season, yeah, the Blue Jays. But along with those the home runs, Dick, come a lot of strikeouts. The Blue Jays are up there with strikeouts as well. The Padres, as a pitching staff, they're number 1 in the National League for strikeouts. When you look at that chart, though, the Padres, a shortage of power, but that's all right. Give me pitching and defense any day, and you know what? You look in the column, Padres are in first place.
Well, in the lineup for Toronto tonight, to give you an idea, hitters 2 through 7, exclude the leadoff man and the pitcher. There's 77 home runs in that. You got to hunt a long time to find that for the San Diego Padres, even on a season's basis. So it's up to John Garland tonight. And let's look at the pitching matchup. John Garland, who has excellent success at home and against the Blue Jays, will go against Sean Markham. Markham 5-3, solid ERA. And John Garland hopes to improve upon his 6-4 mark. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. John Garland, the veteran 30-year-old right-hander, he better have that sinker ball going tonight. They're going to be swinging from the heels, the guys with the Maple Leafs.
Park on a beautiful baseball Monday night as the men from Toronto will face the smiling David Eckstein and the first place Padres. San Diego, home of Petco Park and of Corky's, and home of the free photo termite inspection. You see proof of your termite problem with your very own eyes. Call Corky's at 1-800-901-1102. Corky's. Warming up, John Garland. He's 6-4. His ERA is the 14th best in the National League. And our starting pitcher profile is brought to you by the Mark Condos, luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com. Just called up from Las Vegas 51's the top minor league farm team for Toronto. Dwayne Wise was with the Phillies earlier. This is his first at bat in the big leagues with Toronto. 272 hitter in the minors with 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in, an outstanding defensive outfielder. And Garland misses on his first 2 attempts. Aaron Hill and Jose Bautista to follow.
No, even though we talked about the power numbers of this Toronto Blue Jay team, John Garland has got to stick with his strength, and that's the sinker, as you mentioned earlier, Dick.
Plate umpire Larry Vanover barks out his first strike call. Jeff Kellogg, Jeff Nelson, and Mark Carlson from first around to third. That one fouled, slicing into foul territory, and Headley can't get there. So Toronto stacks up their best against the Padres in this series. Markham 5-3. Tomorrow night, Brett Cecil 7-2. And then another left-hander, Ricky Romero, 5-3 in the day game on Wednesday. So along with their power, they're bringing their best hurlers to Petco. 2-2. Up on the handle is Wise. Chops that one out in front of the plate. The kick's foul. Yorvik Torrealba tried to get there, but the ball, a lot of back spin into foul territory.
It's going to be interesting to see these bats of the Blue Jays and how the outfielders for the Padres react. Home runs mean a lot of fly balls, right? Well, you have to have the track shoes on and cover a lot of ground. This is a tough ballpark to put the ball out of. We all know that. And Cito Gaston back managing the Toronto Blue Jays.
Member of the Padres in their initial season, 1969. Pulled foul. Cito went down. They have all of the starting lineups for the Padres through the year, 69 through the 2010 season. So I went out just for fun to see if Gaston was in the starting lineup in 69. He was not, but he hit 5th in 1970 and made the All-Star team. Line drive, and welcome to the big leagues. Dwayne Wise, a solid single to center. And the starting lineup for Cito Gaston, brought to you by Floor Trader. Pay way less for your flooring and take it home today. Now open in Lemon Grove. Going to go down the home runs. Aaron Hill with 9, Bautista 18, Wells with 15, Gonzalez 13, Overbay 7, Buck 9. The number 8 hitter, Encarnacion, has 8 home runs.
Please don't tell me Sean Markham has a couple of home runs as well.
Not yet.
Okay.
He has a double. 1 for 3. Hill, a 186 average, but 9 home runs. And that's not totally typical of this Toronto team, but they do have low batting averages, but high home run averages.
The slugging percentage for this team is second best. The on-base percentage is last in the American League. You know how the Padres had those T-shirts made up the other day? Just says "Believe." I mean, that seems to be the motto. If the Toronto Blue Jays came out with a T-shirt, it would say "Grip it and rip it," because that's what their hitters do when they go up to the plate.
It's almost like a home run hitting contest within the club. Garland with a runner on first base, especially in the early innings, very deliberate. Slider outside. Well, John Garland has stepped forward for manager Buddy Black because of the rain out last week in New York. Remember, day-night doubleheader. Garland and Latos pitched. With Latos, the younger arm, he has volunteered to pitch on 3 days rest tonight, so that Latos will stay on his typical pattern of 4 days rest between pitching assignments. So Latos goes tomorrow night. The news is not all good about Garland in that regard. A high pop foul. Headley will watch that one go out of play. Garland has pitched on just a couple of days rest before, 2 times. 0-1, ERA 10.38. He gave up 10 runs and 8 2/3 innings of pitching. And it's just you're part of a routine. You're used to having so many days off. How you work yourself in between your pitching assignments, and all of a sudden you change it by a day. It doesn't sound like much.
Hey, your arm is conditioned throughout your career to pitch once every 5 days, and it takes that rebound time to get back and get to full strength. There might be a little soreness. I mean, every pitcher pitches with a little soreness. You're not going to feel 100% every single time out there.
1-2 to Hill. This one is going to slice into the crowd as well. Gonzalez with a look.
Well, get ready for a lot of fly balls, a lot of foul balls off this Toronto Blue Jay team, huh? They like to lift that ball. That's why they like the ball elevated in the zone, hence all the home runs.
Hill, a Californian from Visalia, and then migrated down to Baton Rouge and played for the LSU Tigers. He hit 36 home runs last year. Number 2 hitter, a second baseman, 36 home runs.
Yeah.
And that would lead most clubs, and you don't expect that from the guy playing second base. He was a first-round pick by Toronto, 2003. Was the 13th player selected that year. Another foul.
A lot of people might be asking also, because of the power numbers for the Blue Jays, well, what type of park do they play in? Is it a bandbox? Well, the Rogers Center, formerly known as Sky Dome, is pretty much down the middle. It's a neutral park. It really doesn't favor, according to the system, it's at 100. Above 100 is hitters. Below 100 is pitchers. It ranks at 97.
And they're hitting more home runs on the road anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what they do.
Yep.
Personality of this club, so get ready. Inside, 2-2. However, they are on the road in this 9-game road trip. The first 6 games, 3 in Tampa, 3 in Colorado. They've hit only 2 home runs in the last 6 games, and they've lost 6 of their last 7. That ball hit to center field. Gwynn giving ground and makes the play. All the way to second base was Wise, and he scampers back to first on a long out to center. And here comes the major league leader in home runs, right fielder Jose Bautista. He's hitting only .232, but 18 home runs and 45 runs batted in. That's the bad news. The good news is he's won for the last 27, a single in his last 27 at bats. So he's in the throes of a real slump. On the outside corner. Carries a .555 slugging percentage.
I would have to say Jose Bautista falls into the category of penthouse or outhouse. Home run or strikeout, hence the average that he has.
1-1. Slider missing. He was quite a gift in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. It wasn't a headline kind of trade. In the last month of last year, September, suddenly the switch went on. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says first base umpire Jeff Kellogg. The story has it that Bautista was taken aside by the batting coach for the Blue Jays, Dwayne Murphy. Said, come on in here against the mirror here. Take a bat. Look at yourself. Look at your swing in the mirror. And he said, you're just waiting too long for the ball. And then they went to look at the video and said, you've got to load up quicker. You've got to be ready sooner. You're swinging late too often. Whatever it was, it worked. He had 10 home runs in September, and look what he's done already this year.
You know, it seemed like when Bautista was using his shoulders more, the swing has a tendency to get long, then you work around the baseball and you lose all your power. Rather than keeping the shoulders square and then throwing your hands at the ball. Once again, I've learned so much from Tony Gwynn talking about hitting, and he says you got to throw your hands. You use your hands, knob of the bat to the ball. If you use your shoulders, your whole upper body's turning, and that's how you work around the baseball and lose all your power.
And it's one of the problems that young Will Venable has, commenting in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
2-2 the count on Bautista. There's Dwayne Murphy, the hitting coach for the Jays.
Well, he had some good years as an Oakland Athletic. Good player in his day.
That's got to be exciting for a coach, and you take a kid and you give him a little tip, and all of a sudden he awakens. And you know, Bautista has hit more home runs than anyone in baseball since September 1st of last year. Rip foul. I mean, that is way down in the corner, and barely eluding being stuck with it was our security guard. Young guy with a Padres shirt, able to.
Yeah, it looks like Catalina was kind of apprehensive of trying to get in front of that one. That's what the glove's for, Cat.
Yeah, you got to charge those line drives. Full count.
How you doing?
See if Wise is off with the pitch. No. Swing and a miss, and that's why a fastball gets Bautista. 2 out. And center fielder Vernon Wells.
I think Bautista may have been guessing a different pitch. That's just a good old-fashioned straight fastball on the outside corner. He may have been looking breaking ball because John Garland throws the breaking ball, or he was maybe thinking something sinker down and in. That was a great pitch by Garland.
Wells, the high-priced cleanup hitter, long-term contract. He's piling up hitting marks that are going to be all-time in Toronto history. This year, get this, with Padres with a $37 million budget, he's making $15.6 million just this year. That'll get a little smirky look, and next time saying, how do you do that?
You know, he's at the tip of the cap from Vernon Wells to David Eckstein. You see that?
That's good stuff.
And now it's time to get down to business, and Eck's going to try to knock down everything hit his way to get Vernon Wells out at first base, obviously.
Wells looked out at Eckstein, who's playing almost behind second base. Not quite on the shortstop side, but just a couple of steps on the second base side of the bag. One and one.
Good call for John Garland. Not so good of a call for Wells. The ball looked like it was off the plate just a little bit, but go back out there again.
Ooh, he had Wise leaning a bit that time. Padres opening day starter in Arizona, John Garland, looking for his 122nd career victory with the best home ERA in the majors, 1.15 here at Petco. 1-1. Good fastball. Blew that by the 31-year-old Wells.
That was at 91. Once again, these Blue Jay hitters know that John Garland sports the hard sinker. That ball is right down the dish, huh? And then he's got the four-seamer away and the slider. So they might be looking darting action in, darting action away, and then Garland is countering with the four-seamer. They're not catching up to it.
Slider, and that had Wells leaning out in front. Dad was a wide receiver who went to the Kansas City Chiefs training camp, didn't make it in the NFL, then went up to the Canadian League and was a star up there in the CFL.
His dad is also an accomplished artist. You should see his work. Outstanding work.
Swing and a miss, strike three. So after the leadoff single by Dwayne Wise, Hill sends a long out to center, and Garland takes care of Bautista and Wells on strikes. Bottom half of the first, it'll be Eckstein, Headley, and Gonzalez as the Padres come to bat. Right-hander Sean Markham making his first appearance against the Padres, and David Eckstein leads it off, takes a strike. Eckstein, Headley, and Gonzalez ready to go against this 28-year-old from Excelsior Springs, Missouri. High pop-up, back of short. Alex Gonzalez gives ground to the left fielder Wise, and one away. Our starting pitcher profile brought to you by the all-new Cadillac SRX, the Cadillac of crossovers. He's allowing an average of 241 opposing hitters, 65 strikeouts in 85 innings.
What's nice about that line, fewer hits than innings pitched. This guy's a sinker baller. A lot of moving parts in that delivery. Also a changeup, cutter, and a curve.
Chase Headley takes a strike. Interestingly, he has better success against left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters. Not usually the pattern. 1-1.
Well, that's because he's got that changeup that goes down and away from left-handed hitters. He'll straighten hitters up like he just did to Chase Headley and then go to that changeup down and away.
Works quickly. Ground ball sharply to first. Glove by Overbay, and he takes it to the bag himself. Hard out off the bat of Chase Headley. And here's the Padres lineup brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project, fans, with Alpine Rock and Block. Very nearly the same lineup that we've been seeing of late, except your V. Torrealba now behind the plate tonight, hitting fifth, and Venable Hairston, Tony Gwynn stays in that 8th spot, 8-game hitting streak, and John Garland. Adrian Gonzalez, more home runs in the first inning than anyone in the majors. 6 of them. 5 in the last 14 games, total home runs. 2-0. Against left-handers, 168 their batting average. Right-handers hitting 321. Off Markham.
Yeah, no, Bob Scanlon mentioned something about it in the pregame show. And I was talking to Buck Martinez, who does the play-by-play for the Blue Jays. He said that Joe Madden had 2 of his switch hitters, Ben Zobrist and Fiona Navarro, switch around to the right side against the righty.
It's interesting.
He took it as if there was another lefty throwing.
High fly ball, shallow in center, easing in as Wells. And it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Sean Markham. We go to the second, no score. Top of the second inning, Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop. He has 13 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Boy, it's power, power, power. High ball 1. Foul back.
Well, it's the job of these San Diego Padres pitchers then to maybe put together a power outage against this Toronto Blue Jay team. This team can pitch now. The best ERA in Major League Baseball with a 2.97.
That buries the heart of the strike zone, and it's 1-2. Ooh, look at the downer on that pitch. Right 3, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row. That curveball, bottom fell out of it.
Want to see a disappearing act? At the belt buckle, then down in the dirt, and Gonzalez, no way. Does he go? Oh, you betcha he does. If he hits that one, it's a double down the left field line.
One of these days, you got to say that one would have gone for a gap or would have been a triple.
That's in Colorado.
Oh, okay. We'll save it then. That ball laced to left field, and Hairston can't get it on the fly, cuts it off, and Overbay will turn and hold with a long single. So here we are. You're down to the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup. I know of them. I'm exaggerating the point, but it's the reality of statistic. Overbay has 7 home runs, the 6 hitter. 7 hitter in there now, John Buck, has 9. And Edwin Encarnacion has 8. Those are your 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Well, to compare that with the Padres, 6, 7, and 8 hitters have a total of 9 home runs themselves. But you win in different ways, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's why, again, it's a matchup of pitching versus hitting.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not just saying this because the Padres are flashing the pitching numbers they are at this point in time, and I've said it since you learned this game of baseball. It all boils down to pitching and defense. You look at the teams that make the playoffs each and every year, it's pitching and defense.
Meanwhile, there is a magic about the fact that you have a team leading the majors in home runs by a bunch, 99 home runs, no one close, against a team that is pitching better than anyone else in the majors. And that whole duel, that pitcher-batter confrontation, it's intriguing. It's interesting that the hitting team has a manager that was a hitter, and the pitching team has a manager that was a pitcher.
Nice. Didn't realize that.
Left-hander, workman light, southpaw for 15 big league seasons. 1-1 the count. Boy, they do take full cuts.
Remember the 1988 Los Angeles Dodgers? Couldn't hit worth a lick. How did they win the World Series that year? Pitching.
Count goes full. Scoreboard count is off by a ball.
And we just heard on the field mic there, home plate umpire Larry Vanover barking out 3-2. There's Larry.
Still no correction, of course, for the players themselves. That Vanover trying to help them out. That ball is hit well to left field. Will it stay in the ballpark? No. Home run. Caught the little slice of left field about 15 feet inside the foul pole. And John Buck carries the reputation around the bases of the Blue Jays. A line drive home run. He found the shortest part of the yard. Number 10 for Buck, the catcher.
You know, I hate to bring up the past, but the way that this ball was struck off the bat of John Buck, that was Joe Carter-like. This ball got out in a hurry. Line shot, hooking. Look at how that ball is hooking. It just gets over the chain link fence out there down by the fair pole.
Edwin Encarnacion, even 200 is average. But look at the home runs again. 8. Number 8 hitter with 8 home runs. That would be second on the Padre team. Second to Adrian Gonzalez, 14.
You know, the Padres collectively, Dick, San Diego Padres have 45 home runs total. The Toronto Blue Jays have 44 home runs on the road. Make that 45 now with that home run.
So strikeout number 4 for Garland. But in between the 2 strikeouts of the inning, the line single Overbay and the line home run John Buck. As we check the Padre defensive lineup, we'll give that to you in just a moment. Pitcher Sean Markham. And Garland falls behind 2-0. Markham's been at bat only 3 times. DH, of course, in the American League. Those are opportunities earlier in the season. 2-1.
Looks like he's got a pretty good hack right there.
No, I'm sure that if there's anyone on the roster of these major league teams that enjoys interleague play most, it's the pitchers. They get the chance to swing the bat. Most of them in their day probably were good hitters in high school and college. Usually your best player, the pitcher.
If they didn't pitch, they probably played short or first base.
Count holds at 2-2. We haven't seen a home run that's caught that little piece of pie in left field all season long, right in that corner. Padres defensive lineup brought to you by Tiger Turf. Tiger up your lawn with Tiger Turf, the world's best-selling synthetic turf. Visit mytigerturf.com today. There they are, Headley, Hairston, Eckstein, Gonzalez, Hairston, Gwynn, Venable, the outfield, Torrealba behind the plate.
Oh.
Torrealba was on his way to the dugout, and so was Markham. He thought he was struck out.
You know, if you look at this pitch again, I think this ball's off the plate. Torrealba was going back. Markham was going. That's the funny part. Markham himself was looked like he was going back to the dugout, but then he heard ball. And he's okay.
That's when an umpire really is made to look bad.
Honestly, though, I thought that was a ball. I thought the ball was off the plate.
Cody Black, a curious look. And Garland walks the pitcher. Well, he has to be doubly upset, Garland.
Sure.
He thought he had him struck out. And that doesn't put any salve on the home run wound. Took 9 pitches, and Markham able to squeak out a base on balls. Top of the order, Dwayne Wise. Line drive single to center to open the action. Well, Garland will be watched closely. Veteran taking the ball tonight with 3 days rest.
You know, I remember talking to the old left-hander, Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones. And Randy was the type of guy who his arm he could pitch and be effective on short stay rest, right?
Actually, not a fresh arm, more tired arm.
Right.
Actually, that ball would sink more than if you really had all that adrenaline. You felt fresh. You might throw a little too hard. He didn't want that.
Yeah, but Randy was accustomed to doing that, right? Pitching all those innings. Different story for John Garland.
And the Blue Jays fouling off so many pitches. He's already at 53 on the pitch count. With 1 day's less rest, you would hope to have some quick outs. Not the case. Lined into the right field corner, and it is a fair ball. Bounces away from Venable. The pitcher Markham to third, and will hold there as Venable gets it in. Boy, Dwayne Wise comes up from the minor leagues and rips a single to center and laces a double to right. Where's he been hiding?
Yeah, well, hopefully John Garland can make an adjustment with first base open. You've got second and third. Now you've got some big hitters coming up with some pop. How far? Oh, man, that was maybe a foot and a half or so. The walk to the pitcher didn't help John. The pitch count is getting up. And that breaking ball fed right into the wheelhouse of Dwayne Wise. He just dropped the bat there on that off-speed pitch. How he kept that ball fair is amazing to me.
Well, the visitors from Ontario have taken the measurements of Petco rather keenly, have they not? I mean, the home run by John Buck was 10-15 feet fair down into that left field corner. And now Wise about 2 feet fair at the 322 sign. So they're using the whole yard. Aaron Hill, a long out to center, his first time up. 2 men in scoring position. And they're going to pitch to him, and a slider for a strike. Big out here for John Garland. Padres can ill afford to see Toronto take a 4-run lead in the second inning. And they will, though. A line drive in the gap, but left center gets by Hairston. 2 more Blue Jay runs come home on a double by Aaron Hill. Oh my. The pitcher Markham, the walk that was a strikeout in his own eyes, but he gets the walk. He comes home on the double, as does Wise. Number 22 and 23 RBIs for Aaron Hill.
And bad location from John Garland to Aaron Hill. And John would be the first one to admit that he has got to get those pitches down. Hill was all over that hanging pitch.
Yeah, the siren, not the phone, the siren emergency in the bullpen for the Padres. Sean Gallagher getting loose in a hurry. 8th man to bat in the inning. Bautista. Check swing, and Torrealba doesn't quite get there in time. Again, the ball kicking foul, and just before Torrealba tried to keep it in play.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. John Garland is ticked right now. He's beside himself. He's down 4-0. This team likes to swing the bats. He's got to make an adjustment, and he realizes that.
He had a couple of rough outings on the road, remember, at Philadelphia and at New York. 13 innings of pitching, gave up 18 hits and 9 runs, and it's carried over tonight.
See, now I think that's a strike. We talked about that all the time, how the low pitch is the one that's really not called a strike with consistency. But
consistent thing is they don't ever call the high strike, so that is consistent. Tough to be a pitcher. Just misses low and away with a slider. 2-1 with the leading home run hitter in baseball. Struck out swinging his first time up, so he's 1 for the last 28.
Seems like when John is trying to miss down, he's missing way down. But yet when he tries to throw it to the knees or below the knees, he leaves it up, and that's when he's getting hurt.
Aaron Hill out at second base with a 2-run double. Capping so far a 4-run inning. High pop-up. Gonzalez comes down from first, but Torrealba calls him off and makes the catch. The Blue Jays score 4 on 3 extra base hits and a single. Get more fruit in your diet with the Hawaiian Teriyaki Chicken Sandwich. Well, we haven't seen that very often this year at Petco. An early 4-run inning against Padre pitching, but a single by Overby, Buck's line drive home run, a walk to Markham, double from Wise, and a 2-run double from Hill. And Sean Markham staked to a 4-run advantage as we go to the home half of the second inning, and Scott Hairston takes ball 1.
Got a lot of catching up to do. Right, base runners, work some walks, maybe a hit here or there.
Can't win with solo home runs. Just got to get some base runners and peck away at the lead and hope that Garland and whomever will hold the Blue Jays in check. Colorado did just that in a sweep of the Blue Jays over the weekend. This is along with San Francisco, Padres and San Francisco, only 2 West teams playing today. High pop foul, fly rather. Shortstop Gonzalez. And 4 in a row retired by Sean Markham. And a look at the Toronto defense. It's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Encarnacion, Gonzalez, Hill, Overbay around the horn, Wise in left, Wells in center, Bautista in right, and the battery of Markham and Buck.
Hey, pretty good defense for the Jays out there. 3rd fewest in errors with 30 in the American League.
See Buck behind the plate. I think about the man just next door now doing the television for the Blue Jays, former manager Buck Martinez. He was catching back when I was doing the Angel games. Exhibition Stadium there on the fairgrounds in Toronto. And the delight of going up to Toronto for night games was this. That roller will kick foul. About 10 o'clock. The bakery nearby, Buck would attest to this, would start baking the bread for the next day.
Oh, yeah.
And that smell of freshly baked bread would come wafting into the broadcast booth. Hard to do it. Hard to call games when you're salivating.
Hey, Toronto's a great town as well. Very clean.
Cosmopolitan.
Yes.
Buck played, of course, with the Blue Jays, then managed them. Tapper by the mound, gets by the mound. Torrealba hustling, and he beats it out. Infield single for Torrealba. Once it got by Markham, it was going to be difficult. First Padre hit with 1 out here in the second.
I think Markham may have gotten a little bit of leather on this baseball and therefore slowing it down. Let's check it out. Slider down and away.
Yeah, he did.
He knocked it down a little bit. So if he does not hit that, it gives a better chance for Gonzalez to probably get Torrealba. Well, right now the Padres are going to need some breaks to get on base and try to chip away at that. I said chip away, not Chippewa. To try to chip away at that 4-0 deficit.
We need a Chippewa to chip away, don't we? Thank you, all my friends, Central Michigan alums here in San Diego, and we have plenty of them.
Yes, you do.
Appreciate the love. Garland would appreciate a long stroke off the bat of Venable here. Cut into this 4-0 lead. Will with 4 home runs, but that statistic has gone dry in the last month. Ex-Princeton Tiger giving up a little on the end of the bat. It was close.
It's one of the positives that Markham possesses, pounding that strike zone inside and outside alike with that 2-seam sinker. It's a heavy sinker, about 90-91, but also an excellent changeup.
Roller to the right side, and they will go to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. And watching that play closely at second, almost the phantom contact with the bag on the force. Torrealba erased 4-6. Venable, good base runner early in the game despite being down by 4. He has 12 stolen bases.
Let's see how close it was at second base. It looked like he kicked the bag when he had that baseball in his glove. There, kicks the bag. He's so quick with his feet. It looked like he wasn't in contact with the bag when he caught it.
Happy feet there for Alex Gonzalez. Jerry Hairston. See if he gives Venable a chance to pick up a stolen base. Ooh, up and in.
Man.
Almost hit him in the chin.
Watch this ball just take off, up and in. And, you know, Jerry's lucky he didn't get it in the fingers as well. How close was this? Oh, that hit below his fingers, it looked like.
Venable, if he sees an opening, this is the time to try to pick up a stolen base, get in position to be knocked in with a single. Ball and a strike to Hairston. Tony Gwynn on deck. Hairston has hit well, particularly here at Petco. Last 3 weeks, well over 300 in his 3 home runs in the last homestand. There he goes. The throw by Buck. Wow. And he got him. That's a perfect throw, and it had to be perfect to nail Venable. So the Padres, no runs ahead, no one left in the second. On to the third we go here at Petco. The Blue Jays doing everything right, 4-0. Welcome back. First pitch hunting as Vernon Wells sends it to deep right center. Look at that ball carry. It must be some wind going out toward the right field corner. That one really sailed away from Gwynn.
Let's check out the location of the pitch. Another pitch that's up, but up just enough to keep it in the ball yard. And working underneath that baseball was Vernon Wells. And you're right, Dick. If you get it up there high enough, there's a slight breeze that is, from left to right field.
Yeah, it's blowing both the flag of the United States and the Canadian national flag, the maple leaf out there in the right field corner. Went out to Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez, he struck out in the second inning, but after that it was extra base time, including a home run and a double, a 2-run homer, 2-run double for Toronto.
You know, I hate to harp, and I don't really like bringing up pitch counts, but in this situation, I think it warrants me saying something after this next pitch would be the 64th. You know, 60, according to my math, Mr. Enberg, that's 128, right? 64 and 64.
If he's going to go 6 full.
Right. The most that John has thrown this year is 108. That was back against the Milwaukee Brewers. So Only here in the top of the third inning. He's well over half most of these thrown this year.
What you're saying is we're going to see that bullpen out of that magnificent 7, the bullpen.
But if John can make an adjustment and get some early quick outs, he can find himself in the 5th or 6th inning if he throws 8-9 pitches an inning.
3-1. And he has walked Gonzalez. That's exactly what he does not want to do in that spirit, to try to stay in here. So 1-out walk to Gonzalez brings up Lyle Overbay, the first baseman. Line to single to left to start the go round in the 2nd. Minor leagues or major leagues, you ever play in Canada?
I did. Love Canada. Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. Love BC. Love Western Canada. Love Eastern Canada. Love Canada as a whole.
Never took the noon balloon to Saskatoon?
No, never did. No.
That's another story.
I know my boyhood idol was from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Keith Magnuson, God rest his soul, number 3, the chief, the captain for the Blackhawks back in the early 60s and 70s.
Oh, a weak swing there, fooled on the changeup. Yeah, maybe a slider, but it was off speed. 1 ball, 1 strike to Overbay. Just took a taste out of the outside corner of the slider.
I'm sure you've done some work up in Canada, huh, Dick?
Yeah, when I was the 1966, the TV voice of the LA Blades Western Hockey League. That's where they trained in Saskatoon.
Really?
I took the noon blue. Inside.
So they played in LA and trained up in Saskatoon.
Trained in Saskatoon. Well, almost all the
the
roster were Canadians.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. I mean, being with hockey players in those days where no one really made a lot of money, especially in the Western Hockey League. They were such good guys, such good teammates. Chop foul.
Hey, you know, anytime there's a sport where guys go at it 60 minutes and just knock each other's heads off on the ice, and then after the series shake hands at center ice, that's class. I love that move in hockey. I love that.
Probably the one sport aside from boxing where you see that. You know, boxers beat the pulp out of each other at the end of the match. They hug each other.
Right.
Wrestling the same. Yeah, that's true of hockey. Swing and a miss. Went after a changeup. And Garland, and it's a statistic he doesn't like, has 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. He would rather have him swing at the first pitch and make an out.
Good point. Good point. That means less pitches. Fewer pitches, I should say. Fewer pitches. And quicker innings. And a beautiful changeup down and away. You can see it out of the hand, and Overbay overswings.
Here's John Buck. Lined a low shot into the corner of the left field bleachers down by the Toyota sign for a 2-run start for these Maple Leafs. I wonder if the Maple Leafs use maple bats. Do you suppose?
I'm sure, you know, there's a company, I'll have to find out what it is in Canada, that produces the maple bats.
A ball and a strike. Along with his 2-run homer, you can't throw a ball better than he did when he wiped out Venable trying to steal. If that ball is up just a little bit or off the base a little bit, Venable has a stolen base in the last inning. Perfect throw. Skips in the changeup. Thinking about Jack Kent Cook, who was a native of Toronto, who came to Los Angeles to become the owner of the L.A. Kings. When I was doing the L.A. Blades in 1966, Dan Reeves, who owned the Rams, also owned the Blades. And he thought I was pretty good as a hockey announcer. So I thought when the major leagues came, NHL came to Los Angeles, I was going to be the hockey announcer.
Right.
But Jack Kent Cooke somehow got the franchise away from Reeves and named Jiggs McDonald, the longtime outstanding hockey announcer, to be his man. Forlornly, I moved on. Ball 4. 2 walks here in the inning from Garland. And you know, life does force you down avenues that you might not have taken yourself. I was really disappointed. I'd grown up in Detroit. I knew hockey. I loved hockey. And just months later, they said, would you like to join Bob Kelly and do the L.A. Rams broadcast? And then someone said, how about UCLA basketball? Would you like to do that? That was the next year. And Angels baseball,
right,
pre and post game show. So it worked out really well.
So thank goodness they hired that other guy.
Exactly right. I owe something for Jiggs. Line foul. Encarnacion, he struck out in the second. Couple of outs here in the third. Enough of the biography. 2 walks, 2 on, 4-0 Toronto. But let me just finish by saying I agree with you. Not only is it a great country, a beautiful country, they're like Australians. They're such delightful people.
Absolutely.
Have you ever met an Aussie or a Canadian you didn't like?
Never.
1 strike to count. Little bluff to get Gonzalez back at the bag at second. Buck safe lead at first with Gonzalez playing well behind him.
Take a look at the breakdown for John Garland, and this is where a pitcher really has to bear down between the ears, kind of concentrate, making a good quality pitch.
Pulled foul.
And you know, once again, a foul ball, a good pitch, it's a grounder, but just left of the bag at third. If that's a fair ball, it's a different story for John Garland.
These Blue Jays, this is the 3rd team they played interleague. They were 0-3 against Colorado over the weekend earlier this season, 1-2 at Arizona, so 1-5 against the National League. Two strikes the count. And another foul ball. That's got to be getting under the skin of John Garland. Making good enough pitches that they can't put it in fair territory, but not good enough to strike him out.
And he wants a new baseball. That one maybe didn't have the right feel to the seams. Sometimes a baseball will just feel a little bit bigger in your hand. It's just a different feel. But he wants to get a good feel so he can make a good quality pitch here. 0-2.
Just missed with a curveball. Down low.
Encarnacion does a fine job of laying off that pitch because that was a dandy. Especially with 2 strikes. 25 foul balls, believe it or not, Dick, already for the Blue Jays.
You got 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Wearing Garland out. Throw back to second, skips and hits the runner. Gonzalez, otherwise it would have gone into center field. And Gwynn, with the power of Encarnacion, was very deep.
Right out of the chute, that's a timing play. It short hops David Eckstein, and it gets Gonzalez on the left side.
Studies the sign. Garland on 2-2.
You know, with a lot of foul balls, also sometimes pitchers get frustrated, obviously, and they try to maybe invent a certain pitch or maybe come from a different arm angle. I'm a believer of, I still feel John's got to stick with his strength. Hit his spot with a sinker. Throw that nasty slider. You start messing around with your arm angle or trying to do something differently that you've done in the past, you might be reaching for a new baseball because you're going to make a mistake in the strike zone.
2 on, 2 out. Top of the 3rd. 4-0 Toronto. And the 2-2 pitch. Slider missing low and away, and so the count goes full here with 2 out. Pitcher next.
He had him 0-2. Foul balls and balls taken to run full.
Runners take off, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. A curveball fools Encarnacion. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings for Garland, but the Padres trail 4-0. And Cox high-speed internet. Ready for higher speed? Well, go to Cox.com. 4-0 the visitors from Toronto as we go to the last of the third. Jerry Hairston, Tony Gwynn, and John Garland scheduled to bat. With 84 pitches already thrown by Garland, we wonder how long he'll be with us tonight. Talking with Big Smile Richard there.
Hey, that's a tough night. You're not going to have your best stuff every night. You're not going to have your location. You might feel great in the bullpen, but it's different in the game.
Hairston was up when Venable thrown out trying to steal. Takes a strike. Giants immediately pounce on the hapless Orioles 6-1 in the third. Orioles with the worst record in baseball. Ball hit deep to left field. If that stays fair, it might have a chance. Deep in the corner. Touch them all. Hairston continues to hit well at home. Number 4. All here at Petco. Well, there's a bite out of the 4-0 lead.
Little bites, like you said, here and there, and the pitching comes around, and you hang one and doing a little Carlton Fisk body language. Boy, look at the trajectory off the bat, that baseball, as it goes into the middle basket.
Tony Gwynn takes a strike. He's in the midst of an 8-game hitting streak. That matches the longest of the season by a Padre, and in the last 12 games, batting .389. Broken bat to short. Gonzalez across for the out. Another look at the trajectory from this angle.
Very nice. Into the second basket, the second balcony. You know, Markham doesn't give up very many home runs. Many home runs, I should say. That was his 7th on the year. And this being his 14th start. That's pretty good.
So the 4-1 score. Garland stays in, takes a strike. You're always talking about the uniforms you like and ones that please you most. Yeah, I like the old logo on the hat. I don't like the modern team. But what do I know about hockey? 382 feet.
I'm right there with you. I think they should go back to the powder blue and the Joe Carter days.
I didn't like the powder blue either.
You didn't like those? No,
I didn't like it on the Phillies. I didn't like that.
Oh, I see. I like that.
Kansas City probably the 3, but I'm something. I like the white.
So how about road? You like grays? Like the old time?
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist. I think gray and whites, that's fine.
But see, that's the difference. Because when I was growing up, the 70s, I saw baseball, the home, the away jersey, and that was the fad back then. So that's what I was accustomed to.
Garland swings and sends a high fly to right field. Bautista coming in. 2 away. Yeah, I remember, don't you, when Charlie Finley had the audacity up in Oakland. Green and gold and white shoes and baseball traditionalists. And what are you trying to do? Bring softball into the major leagues?
Right.
Made fun of the uniforms. Yeah. Charlie was ahead of his time.
He's also the one that wanted to use yellow baseballs at night.
That's right. And who's to say? They didn't want to have yellow tennis balls.
That's right.
On the tour. Wimbledon, remember the head of the All England Club, Buster Haddingham, and that suggestion was made to have yellow balls. He said, "Yellow balls at Wimbledon? You realize when a yellow ball hits green grass, we'll have bloody blue balls. Do you want blue balls at Wimbledon?" That's true. I'm serious.
Yeah.
He lost the battle. And yellow balls now prevail. And it does help, especially on television. You see the ball better. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Eckstein. He flied to left his first time up. Good eye. Boy, umpire Vanover is tough, huh?
And, that's the pitch that Garland didn't get as well. He called that pitch a ball, remember? So he's been consistent with that pitch.
So the full count. Up the middle, base hit for Eckstein. The third Padre hit keeps this 3rd inning alive. And with 2 outs, Chase Headley comes up. Saw a lot of fans here still making out their all-star ballots and punching Eckstein's name.
Sure.
I mean, at least here in San Diego, the appreciation of what he means to the team, what a player he is. He's not going to bump the Chase Etleys of the world off the all-star team, but at least the home folks are giving him due recognition. Headley hit the ball hard first time up, but right at Overbay at first. Good cut there. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. Well, it's U.S. Army Day here, celebrating the Army's 235th birthday on this date in 1775. The U.S. Army, the Congressional Army, was formed. Changeup blowing away.
Markham's got a good changeup. He really perfected that pitch last year. And what made it so effective is that he maintains the same arm speed as a fastball as he does on the changeup. That's what makes it so effective.
Foul tip before the game. Members of the U.S. Army here and unraveling the Stars and Stripes because in 1777, also on this date, the Continental Congress adopted the Stars and Stripes as our national flag. Great to have our men and women in uniform with us tonight. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. A lot of candles, 235.
Oh, yeah.
1-2 to Headley. A wave and a miss at the changeup. Headley out on strikes. Padres get a run on the solo home run by Jerry Hairston, his 4th of the season. A couple of hits and a man left. That one makes it 4-1. Irving Hughes, life is a lease, folks, so negotiate well. To the top of the 4th inning, 4-1 Toronto, and Garland against Sean Markham. He was the opening day pitcher for the Blue Jays this season. Gets that one well to right center. Venable giving ground. 1 out on the fly ball to right. Top of the order, and Dwayne Wise, who has promptly proven the wisdom of this Blue Jay franchise to bring him up from the minor leagues, and he's delivered a line single and a line double. First 2 legs of the cycle. Kelly Gruber and Jeff Fry, the Blue Jays, were the cycle. Pretty nice to come up to the big leagues and they give you number 1.
Oh, yeah. I think there's been a lot of guys throughout Major League Baseball, like Ozzie Smith, of course, right? Number 1, Hall of Famer. If you're given that number, I think there's a little added pressure because number 1 carries a lot of weight. Gary Templeton, same way. Tempe was the best. I love that man. What a great shortstop. Did I ever tell you the Gary Templeton story? No. He'd be playing shortstop behind me. I'd fall behind 2-0, and he would yell at me. He would yell from shortstop, "Come on, Mud. Quit throwing the ball like a sissy." And he wouldn't use the word sissy.
No, I'll bet not. 1-2 from Garland. Just inside. Garland thought he had him. Garland is staring down plate umpire Larry Vanover. I'm sure the man calling balls and strikes not appreciative of that, because he's kind of posing on his follow through as if that should be a strike.
Nice.
And that one is on a changeup. Remarkable strikeout total, 7 now for Garland, but the pitch count up over 90 now. 2 outs to Aaron Hill, long out to center, and a line drive double to left center that drove in 2.
Hey, like I said, quick inning.
Win catches this, it'll be just that, a quick 1-2-3. What the doctor ordered for John Garland. We go to the bottom of the 4th, Toronto leading 4-1. That's right, fans. There is still time to send your favorite Padres to the 2010 All-Star Game. You can vote here at the park, but you can receive 20% off or 2-for-1 Padre tickets when you vote online at least 25 times at Padres.com. Vote early, vote often for your San Diego Padres at Padres.com. Adrian Gonzalez, then Scott Hairston, and Yorvi Torrealba. Bottom of the fourth, 4-1 Blue Jays. Gonzalez flying to center, his first at bat. That ball hit well to left field, going to the wall, and it is gone. Touch 'em all. He finds the first row once again to left field. Gonzalez, number 15. Adrian only 3 off the major league lead of 18 as he slaps that one, a line shot just into the first row in the left field bleachers.
Well, Markham throws him a high sinker that does not sink. You can tell that the catcher Buck was set up inside and supposed to be in the front row. Nicely done, Adrian.
Just long enough. 4-2 the score. And here's Scott Hairston. Ground ball deflected perfectly to the second baseman. Couldn't have done a better job. Markham just caromed right to Hill for the first out. 1-4-3 on the put-up.
Remember when I mentioned earlier in this homestand, and I mentioned it before, that when a sinker ball pitcher leaves the sinker ball up, it won't sink as much. I mean, it's just like any pitch. The slider, you keep it down, it's going to bust out of the strike zone. It's going to be a good pitch. The curveball the same way, but the sinker, same thing. If you leave it up around the belt, it won't sink, and that's where you get hurt.
So a 2-run homer by John Buck and a 2-run double from Aaron Hill, accounting for the 4 Toronto runs back in the second. Solo homers by Jerry Hairston, number 4, and Gonzalez, number 15, have cut that lead in half. Up the middle, charging the ball, and making the play is Alex Gonzalez. 2 away, and Will Venable the batter. I haven't seen the latest accounting for the All-Star game, but a week or two ago, Gonzalez was not in the top 5, which was hard to believe.
I know that first base position in the National League is a tough position to crack.
Swing and a miss. Venable now in the role of rooting for his teammate to keep something going here in the 4th inning. Late on the swing, 0-2. .50 pitches now, and he chases that changeup in the dirt. Second strikeout, but thanks to Adrian Gonzalez, the Padres have cut the 4-0 lead in half. A blast to left for Gonzalez, and it's a 4-2 game.
Big game recap brought to you by Murray Lambert Construction. Check out their new and improved website at murraylambert.com to see photo galleries, remodeling tips, meet the team, and schedule a no-obligation in-home design accurate quote. Dick?
All right, Mark. As Jose Bautista, he has struck out and fouled out. Man leading this team in home runs and the major leagues with 18. RBIs 45. Count is 2-1. Swing and a miss. Slider. Well, after utilizing almost everything he had the first 3 innings, 84 pitches from John Garland. He got by with only 8 the last inning. So he starts this frame 92 total pitches.
He has battled, no question about it.
He'd like to get in the 5. 2-2. Way outside. Breaking ball and the count full.
Just didn't seem to establish a rhythm early. John was working slowly with runners on base and just wasn't pounding the ball down in the zone.
That ball hit well to left center field. How well is it? It's high. Gwynn going to the warning path and to make the catch. Death Valley, right and left center. Bautista has to be shaking his head as he comes to the dugout. That's a home run most anywhere.
Hey, somewhat of a vacation for Jose Bautista, huh? Beautiful sunny Southern California, San Diego, and a little bit of Death Valley to go along with that out in left center field here at Petco Park. No need to go up to 395. It's right here at Petco.
Sheltered by the left and right field bleachers, but in the open area, tough to hit it out. There's a fly ball slicing into foul territory and back into the seats away from Adrian Gonzalez. Vernon Wells, a strikeout and a fly ball to center, right center. That ball hit high toward right. Venable cruising into toward the line to make the play for the second out of the inning. And let's check the leaderboard. It's brought to you by Los Primos Mexican Food, 18 Southern California locations, home of the Monster Burrito. John Garland, starting tonight, had the lowest ERA at home in the National League, 1.15. 4 runs given up in the second inning, taking a bite out of that superior record at Petco on the year. 2 outs, 100 pitches. That one being the 101st of the night. But Buddy Black, he's a gamer, Garland. And despite the 4 early runs, to get him through 5 innings so he possibly could be the pitcher of record and maybe a winning record if the Padres do something about him at the 5th inning, wants to give him, it's an honor. It's a badge of honor. You win at least 5.
And this is a perfect example. If John Garland gets out of this inning, okay, you leave trailing by 2, right? It could have been much worse, right? It's just a testament to pitchers, players. Don't ever throw in the towel. Don't give that body language like you're beaten in the first inning.
You go around, no.
And I know it's hard to do. It's hard to get that rock and get up on that hill and, bear down and concentrate when you've just given up 2 home runs and you're down 4-0.
2-run homer and the 2-run double, yes, for the 4. And maybe feeling you squeezed a bit by the umpire. 3-1. Alex Gonzalez struck out and walked.
Well, does he get squeezed here? It's a pretty good pitch. But once again, Larry Vanover has not called that pitch all night. Looks like it's outside just a skosh.
Foul back. I didn't realize how high this booth is off home plate. Like that ball there didn't really come close. It was on line to come up here. I thought we'd get a ball or 2 by now.
I was all over it. I was going to protect you. I can go to my right with the best of them.
I can duck with the best of them. There you go. Man in white there. He'd have caught it. 3-2.
Nice. See him bury that sinker inside. Tremendous movement. So Gonzalez cannot get those arms extended. Well, there you see the breakdown. 106 pitches.
That's his 4th walk tonight. 2 outs, puts Gonzalez on for the 2nd time with a free ticket, and brings up Lyle Overbay. A single and scored, and he struck out.
Hey, I feel Buddy Black is going to leave John Garland out there as long as he feels fit so he can get that 5th inning in. And hopefully the Padres can come back and next half inning or whenever it is during this game and take the lead.
Overbay from Centralia, Washington, and the University of Nevada. Slider in there. And again. Good sinker.
The ball had a little fuzz on it, didn't it? Still strong after 109 pitches. Good location as well.
Changeup misses low. (4-2). Toronto leads it. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Gonzalez at first base. 1-2 the count on Overbay. Ripped into right field. Oh, did he get that one? On his way to third is Gonzalez. Venable plays it in. 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Overbay's 2nd hit. Brings up John Buck. He of the 2-run home run in the 2nd inning, his 10th of the season.
Ooh. Slider that missed. Inner third, and for a lefty from a righty, that could have been dangerous. That ball was hit very well, and John Garland trying to reach back for a little extra to get that final out here in the 5th inning.
Joe Thatcher took the loss, or actually pitched a third of an inning, as Luke Gregerson took the loss yesterday, and Thatcher touched up for a run, which hadn't happened in quite some time. Another big cut by John Buck. Well, fans, because the considerable 2,100-mile distance between the 2 cities and the fact they're in 2 different leagues, the National and American League, not familiar with the names on this Toronto roster, but as you can see, they've got some real hitting talent. Good changeup right in the nose. Well, actually, that they said it was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Sure has a lot of sink.
Did.
So 2 strikes. He's ahead on the count.
You know, looking at the action of that pitch, that may have been his 2-seamer, that sinker at 91.
Ground ball. Headley goes the short way for the force. So Garland, he works his way through 5 tough innings. Take your hat off to this guy and short rest. 800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com because ready feels good. And on this June 14th in 1974, I had the privilege of calling that game. Nolan Ryan against the Boston Red Sox, a 13-inning game. I think Ryan finished the 13 innings, striking out 19. He got Cecil Cooper that night 6 times.
Oh, that's a tough night in the big leagues there. Wow.
What an arm and what endurance. Of course, he gave full credit not to his arm, but to his legs. He said that's where all his power pitching came from. Army leg wrestling champion when he was in the service. Now a chief executive with the Texas Rangers. Can't wait to see Nolan along the baseball trails. Jerry Hairston homered his last time up. Tony Gwynn and then Garland's spot here in the last of the 5th, and Edward Mujica is now throwing in the bullpen. Again, very tight on that outside corner is plate umpire Vanover. Two runs, 4 hits for the Padres, 2 home runs. High fly ball, foul territory, and that's going to catch the 3rd row down in that corner.
I think Jerry had another hanging pitch to maybe try to deposit in the left field stands. That was a hanging pitch by Markham.
Reaches out and pops that one into right center. Racing in from right is Bautista for the first down. That brings up Tony Gwynn and a cold hard blast. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Yesterday, how about this cold hard line drive blast? And the sprint 90 to 90 to 90, 360 feet. And an inside the park home run for the only 2 runs for the Padres yesterday. Tony grounded out his first time. Tried to bunt his way on. Aaron Cunningham is on deck. Just called up from Portland, apparently to hit for Garland.
Boy, nice numbers for Junior in the 8-game hitting streak. 423 clip.
Plus 4 or 5 walks in there as well.
Yeah.
So his on-base percentage has been outstanding.
And he's going with the high pants this evening, which I like. I love that look.
Hit well, but right at the center fielder Wells. Line out for the 2nd out, and here's Aaron Cunningham. Aaron's 2nd pinch hit appearance. His numbers at Portland, he had 4 home runs. As you mentioned before, had an excellent spring training, caught the eyes of the manager and coaches of the Padres. Stole a lot of bases in the spring as well to fit into the whole aggressive style. Check this swing. Did he go around? Yep.
You know, we talked a little bit about Aaron Cunningham when he came up the other day, but Buddy Black really likes this kid. All-around game, had a great spring, as Dick mentioned a couple days ago. Good defense, good arm, good speed, and a little bit of pop in that bat.
Ground ball to short. Gonzalez is there to throw him out. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Markham And we've completed 5 at Petco, 4-2 Blue Jays. Well, this Friday night, folks, is Padres College Night, brought to you by 91X. College students save with tickets for $8.50. The game starts at 7:05 against the Orioles. Get there early, a DJ before the game, have a lot of fun, watch the Padres and the Orioles. Get your tickets at padres.com/college nights. Meet some of your college
great idea,
friends from other schools, too. You know, mix and match. You know, it's kind of, I don't know how you did it up there in the Illinois area, but boy, that was something. In spring break, go down Florida, and you'd meet the kids from other schools. Friends for a lifetime. Edward Mujica takes over for John Garland, and it's Edwin Encarnacion. Garland went 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and labored through 114 pitches. And Mujica greeted by a ground ball single to center. Encarnacion's first hit. Brings up the pitcher, Sean Markham. He has walked and scored. Fly to right. Well, it was an obvious request by manager Buddy Black to John Garland, as there's the bunt push to Gonzalez. He does not go to second base. And he might have gotten Encarnacion because he was gambling that the throw wouldn't be made there. He didn't slide. He was going in standing up. But of course, Gonzalez didn't know that. Folks, stay tuned. John and Bob with the Sequan Casino postgame show immediately following the game here on Channel 4 San Diego. Sequan Casino, San Diego's Daycation getaway.
You know, with a 4-2 deficit, it's better to get that out. Although being the force play at second base, we've seen Adrian make that play many times because he just needs to throw a strike because of the force play. But like I said last night, when in doubt, get the out.
Dwayne Wise, the leadoff man, 2 for 3. Toronto moving Encarnacion into scoring position, trying to improve on that 4-2 advantage.
El Diablo, changeup. And you know what? I told Edward, I dubbed his changeup El Diablo. He just busted up and out laughing. He thought it was pretty funny.
Another swing and a miss.
See how far behind he was? Wise was on that fastball there. The changeup setting up that changeup before, fastball after, 92 on the outside corner. How far behind he is there.
Swing and a miss. 94. So he jumped it up 2 miles an hour faster with that fastball to strike out Wise. 2 away. And Aaron Hill, long out to center. Double to left center that knocked in 2 runs in the second. And another fly ball to Gwynn in center field. We're in the 6th inning here at Petco. The Blue Jays leading the Padres 4-2. Runner at second base, 2 out. Hill coming into this game hitting only .186, yet 10 home runs. Check that, 9 home runs and 23 RBIs with the 2 he scored tonight on the double. There's a line drive down the left field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Into the corner it goes. Encarnacion scores on a second double of the night for Aaron Hill. And he's knocked in 3 runs with a pair of doubles. 5-2 the score.
Well, once again, this pitch we're going to show you is going to show you why location is everything. That ball is left up. It's an off-speed pitch. It speeds up the bat of Aaron Hill, therefore putting it down in the left field corner. And that's a huge run for Toronto.
Jose Bautista steps in. Takes a fastball strike. He's 0 for 3 tonight. So Jose struggling, 1 for the last 30 at bats. Average dropping down to 229. Out of play, and Mujica had 2 strikes. So a leadoff ground single to center by Encarnacion. Good sacrifice by the pitcher Markham. Strikeout of Wise, but Aaron Hill comes through with another RBI double.
Shows you how important that sacrifice was for Markham, huh? Give him a half an RBI.
Ground ball to short. Hairston across to Gonzalez. The inning over, but Mujica gives up a run on a single and double. A man left, middle of the 6th. 5-2 Blue Jays. The game brought to you by Fan Diego, your energy savings expert. For locations, visit fandiego.com. For ceiling fans, go to Fan Diego. Last of the 6th inning. Top of the order, David Eckstein has started. He's 1 for 2 tonight. One of the 4 hits off Sean Markham. 2 of them are home runs, solos by Jerry Hairston and Adrian Gonzalez for the 2 Padre runs. First of 3. Brett Cecil, the top record for Toronto tomorrow night against Matt Latos. Changeup. Eckstein way out in front. That'll be a good challenge. Latos pitching the height of his game, 6-4 against Cecil, 7-2. Our telecast time at 6:30, and then Wednesday it'll be Ricky Romero and Kevin Correa. Day game 3:35. No television on Wednesday. That one just drops his bat on the ball, a la Ichiro, and it goes foul.
Hey, speaking of Ichiro, see the game today in St. Louis? Second pitch of the game off Adam Wainwright. He went about 15 rows up in right field at Busch Stadium.
Amazing. Another foul. Count remains at 1-2. Trying to get something started here in the last of the 6th inning for the Padres. Down by 3 against the 28-year-old Sean Markham. Spoils another.
Boy, Eckstein is something with 2 strikes, isn't he? He's just short and quick to the baseball. Good recognition out of the hand of the pitcher, whether it's a sinker, whether it's a curveball. I mean, we saw something very odd the other day. He struck out twice in a game.
And he said that the stuff yesterday was astounding.
Yeah.
Fly ball to center. Easy out for Wells. Barely had to move. So since Adrian Gonzalez home run to the left field bleachers, Markham, hardly unsettled, has retired 7 in a row. Chase Headley grounded hard to first and struck out swinging. Change up outside. Markham, a collegian at Southwest Missouri State. Majored in hotel and restaurant administration.
Really? That's quite a business.
Yeah. Take you out to dinner, knows where to go. Drive to center, and Wells gives ground. An atom ball. So Headley hitting in tough luck tonight. A hard ground ball out to first and a line shot right at the center fielder. 8 in a row for Markham, and here's Gonzalez.
You know, we don't see the Blue Jays a lot, right? And when you see pitchers like Markham, I really like the way he works. I mean, he seems to be a grinder. Nothing overpowering. He just tries to utilize both sides of the plate with that sinker and that breaking, but he's got a heck of a changeup as well.
Giving up a couple of home runs, his 7th and 8th of the season. As a stopper after a Toronto loss, which is the case coming into tonight's game. He's 5-1, so he gets the ship back on course, trying to do it again after 3 straight losses in Colorado. 2-0. Pops him up. Shift was on, but that ball high enough that the shortstop, playing alone on that left side of the infield, can make the catch. 9 in a row retired by Markham. It remains 5-2 Jays. best coffee. It's open at 7 a.m. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Cox Digital Telephone. Ready for cheaper calls? Well, go to Cox.com. Just to keep the book straight, in the last of the 6th inning with a shift on, it was the third baseman Encarnacion who made the catch of Gonzalez pop fly. Ground ball right at the shortstop, Jerry Hairston. 1 pitch, 1 out, as Wells is now 0 for 4 tonight. Brings up Alex Gonzalez. He struck out and walked twice. Well, the Blue Jays, they've been involved, intersected with the Padres in a very important trade in the history of these two teams. After the 1990 season, trader Jack McKeon was here with the Padres, and he traded for Tony Fernandez, the shortstop, and first baseman Fred McGriff. Both had some years on them. Gave up a couple of players that fly ball shallow. Gwynn, a long hard run, and can't get there. Alex Gonzalez drops a soft single into right center with 1 out. So the Padres acquired Tony Fernandez and Fred McGriff. They gave up Roberto Alomar and Joe Carter.
Wow.
Ouch.
A couple of good players there, eh?
Hey.
Man, Joe Carter, RBI machine. Robbie Alomar, probably the best second baseman that I ever saw play. I mean, when I was pitching behind me. Man.
And Joe Carter has had himself a moment too, didn't he, in the
Yes,
World
he did.
Series? Oh, there it is. Let's go back and enjoy it again. Carter, 3-run homer in the 6th game of the World Series to seal the victory. And could you ever find a happier man? As the Blue Jays won back-to-back World Series. Boy, they got good really fast, didn't they?
They certainly did. You know, even back in the day when Bobby Cox was manager, they had some teams that were right on the cusp. You know, they were in the ALCS, but just couldn't get over that hump. They had some darn good teams.
Won the World Series in '92 and '93 in their 16th year of existence. 2-0 now, the count. Mojica working on Overbay, who has a couple of singles and 3 at-bats. That could be 2. Eckstein will run the runner back. They'll get the out there. Now it's a tag play. And Eckstein and Hairston will collaborate on the double play. Well worked by Eckstein. You're not going to fool him with putting on the brakes and stopping, and he runs you back. So now you're so far from second to get the out there, and now the easy put out by Hairston. Online, San Diego HyundaiDealers.com.
Hey, National City loves the Padres.
You bet they do.
Believe it. Love to see the kids out at the ball yard.
16,542 the attendance tonight. Sean Markham's been tough since the home run by Gonzalez, retiring 9 in a row. Swing and a miss by Scott Hairston. He is popped to short and out on a 1-4-3 deflected ground ball. Blue Jays with a 5-2 lead. There's a base hit to left field. Hairston gets things started here in the 7th inning. The 5th hit off Markham. Doing more on defense, brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
David Eckstein, I think, makes this into a spectacular play. Why? Well, he gave up the rock to the first baseman Gonzalez right when the guy was running down the first baseline. You get the out at first base, but the runner in between first and second was going back, so that was the sure deal of getting the double play. I think it was a smart play. The perfect timing of Eck giving up the baseball to Adrian.
He had one eye on the runner, one eye on the runner going to first base. And the 4-3-6 double play, and this could be one for the Blue. Oh, he bobbled the ball, took his eye out the ball, Gonzalez. And the runners are safe at first and second. Trying to hurry, the ball wasn't hit that hard, and may have taken a quick look to see where that runner coming into second was. So the first error of the game on Torrealba's ground ball opens the gates for the Padres.
Broken bat for Hopper. Ball hits Gonzalez right in the heel of the glove.
Haste makes waste.
Well, wow.
Blue Jays defense has not committed an error in their last 5 games. Only one over the last 9.
Yeah, he makes it play 99 out of 100 times, no doubt.
And Venable takes a big rip. That would have tied the game. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 7th with no one out. He's grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out swinging. Chases the changeup. That's when he struck out on the last time up. His 63rd strikeout of the season to lead the Padres. It's just so tough to lay off that ball breaking low. It's been a problem all season long. He's also hit that low pitch out of the strike zone.
Yeah, but Markham is burying it in the dirt.
Hits this one to center. Will that fall? Here comes the center fielder. Can't get it. Tried to bluff the runners, hoping he could get them to hold up and he'd get a force. Venable punches a little looping single to center. And the Padres have something going here on a ground single to left, an error by Gonzalez, and then this Texas leaguer.
Well, an 0-2 changeup, it's off the plate, but enables Will Venable to get those arms extended. The pitch prior to that was the 0-2 pitch. He should have thrown. He should have thrown that changeup in the dirt. That probably was his intent, but he left it up. And a little bit of rally going.
Bases full of Padres. The tying run there at first carried by Venable in this 5-2 game. And Jerry Hairston, a home run, his 4th of the year, into the Western Metal Supply Company 3rd tier. And a fly ball to right. Infield back. No one out. Big opportunity here for the Padres. And he pops him up. Shallow and left is Wise. That's way too shallow and no chance for the runner Eckstein, or rather Scott Hairston, to try to score. So 1 out as Jerry Hairston first ball hunting right down the middle. Oh, he got a good pitch.
Yes, he did. He got a hanger, just working underneath it a little bit. Underneath it, you see the expression of Jerry's face. Man, that's got to be so frustrating.
Catcher Buck out to talk to Markham. Hey, Dylan, just get us a ground ball here, and we're going to get out of this with no one's throwing. We'll get you a double play. Meanwhile, Tony Gwynn thinking, I'm going to get this ball in a gap somewhere and make it really exciting. He's grounded to short and then hit the ball right on the nose, but directly to the center fielder Vernon Wells. First activity, Downs and Camp, a lefty and a right-hander getting ready down that right field corner. Oscar Salazar is on deck for the Padres. Ball one. Try to get him to go after a change, hoping he might send that convenient ground ball double play.
And with each ball thrown in this situation, the strike zone for Tony Gwynn starts to shrink just a little bit more to where he can just focus on one part of the strike zone and look for that certain pitch and try to square it up.
Went around. 1-1. Change up again. 2 in a row. Gwynn trying to extend his hitting streak to 9 straight.
Well, the runner on second base, probably Buck is going to give a series of signs. 2-1, sinker away. First sign after 2, generally sinker away. Whoa, so a different set of signs there. That was a breaking ball.
Slow curveball, 2-1.
Yeah. Maybe they're going by the metric system.
That's how they operate up in Canada.
So let's eliminate the first sign after 2. Oh, that just got blocked by
Torrealba.
Yeah.
Oh, off the fist to third. The throw to first base in time as a run scores. It's 5-3. But that isn't what Gwynn and the Padres had in mind as he was jammed. 14th RBI of the season for Gwynn. The runners move up to second and third, where a single could tie the game. Hairston scoring from third. That'll be an unearned run, and any subsequent runs in this inning will be unearned. Salazar, the big 3-run home run on Saturday as a pinch hitter. Just a nice line drive single would be fine with these Padre fans.
How about a ground ball to the center fielder?
Those are always
yeah.
with runners at second and third.
I remember the first time I heard that. I was in the dugout. I forgot where I was. It might have been Mike Krukow or somebody. And I'm thinking, a situation like this, 2 outs. And the words I heard, how about a ground ball? And I was like, no, you don't want to ground. And then he goes to the center fielder. I said, everybody expects the line drive, the home run, whatever. A ground ball to the center field would be quite nice here. With the way Gonzalez is playing and Hill, up the middle, if you can get a sharp grounder past Markham on the mound, it's possibly 2 runs.
Salazar 5 pinch hits this year, 4 RBIs. He hasn't called that a strike all night.
Yeah, I know.
He does there. Second and third, tying run out at second. Will Venable. 1-1.
Ooh, I had to hold my breath there. So I thought he was going to ring him up on that one as well. But you can see the thought process of Markham. Keep the ball away, give him right field. Don't want to leave anything inner half elevated, something you can jerk out of the ball yard. Away again. Ooh.
1 ball, 2 strikes. So Salazar without a cut thus far.
That was a pretty good pitch, don't you think?
That was much better than the first pitch that he called a strike.
I agree. That's a good pitch.
Oh,
that's a strike.
Yeah. So 1-2 to Salazar. Markham ahead on the count. And throws that one low and outside. A slider.
Once again, keeping the ball away.
Well, there's a big hole in right center for Salazar.
Well, if he can just dump one, and look at the room between Overbay and the bag at first base. If you get that pitch away, if you guess away, and get that little grounder fair, that'll work quite nicely.
2-2. Oh, soft fly ball to left. Wise takes care of it, and the Padres with a golden opportunity. Bases loaded, no one out in the 7th. Manage only one. It's 5-3. Father's Day with your Padres. They'll host the Orioles at 1:05, and you kids 14 and younger, you'll want to be out here and receive a Padres ball glove presented by Scripps. And stay after the game. Play catch on the field. Little Field of Dreams time with your dad on Father's Day. Get your tickets today. Padres.com. Father's Day Sunday. It'll be a nice treat. You're looking for something to give to your dad on his day? Well, how about a trip to the ballpark? See the Padres and the Orioles. John Gallagher comes in out of the bullpen. Mujica went 2 innings, allowed a run, 3 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Gallagher, of course, on the DL, so he's missed a chunk of this season. This is his 12th game, 17 innings. He's allowed 17 hits. Ball 1 with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. John Buck. Significant contribution in this game. He got the scoring started after Overbay had singled, hit a 2-run homer into the left field corner, first row.
Well, I love the way this kid swings the bat. Aggressive, but yet under control. Does that make sense? I mean, there are guys who swing aggressively and they look like they're all over the place.
Wow. What's wrong with that pitch?
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch.
2-1. 29-year-old Buck. 2-2. Kansas City Royals came up to the big leagues in 2004. 6 years with the Royals. Acquired by Toronto in the offseason as a free agent. Pretty good pickup. Breaking ball hangs and the count goes full.
Hey, this is a good opportunity for Sean Gallagher to get a quick inning and chance for him to possibly get a win. Hold him here. See, for me, this is a hold situation. Hold the Jays at 5. Oh, my.
He really hit that to right. Venable looks up, and Buck will tour the bases for the second time tonight.
That is scary.
10 and 11 his home runs tonight.
That young Buck is strong. That is unbelievable. How many guys go to right field from the right side with authority like that? That was up beyond the walkway in right field. We saw Milton Bradley go the opposite way, but that one just, that was a wall scraper, top of the blue pad in the concrete. This one is a no-doubter.
So that negates the run picked up by the Padres in the last of the 7th inning. as Buck has accounted for 3 of the runs on a pair of home runs, a solo and a 2-run shot. So he's knocked in 3, and Aaron Hill with a pair of doubles has driven in the other 3.
You talk about a guy who's using the whole field with authority. That's John Buck.
So the Blue Jays, with his 2 home runs, now have 101 as a team this season. They started tonight 15 ahead of Boston. Boston the closest to them, and they're 15 back.
You know, remember I described the swing of Buck being aggressive but yet under control. I think that swing on that home run told the whole story.
Fouled into the glove of Torrealba. Count is full. Checking the home run totals for John Buck with Toronto. Well, this year he has 11, and in his years at Kansas City, the most in a full season that he ever hit was 18. Only 70 career home runs. That ball hit the center field, and Gwynn easing his way into the gap for the out. Buck back in April against the Oakland A's hit 3 home runs. This lineup is just terrifying when you look at those home run totals. Fred Lewis pinch hits for the pitcher Markham. Check Lewis's totals and where he is on the home run list. He's only hit 4. Well, he's just a Punch and Judy apparently.
Oh, where did that miss? Pretty good curveball from Sean Gallagher.
Lewis a 281 average. 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. So we'll have a new pitcher for the Blue Jays bottom of the 8th inning, but Toronto has built their lead back to 3. Their bullpen is not the strength of this team. Inside 2-2. Lewis has been acquired since the start of the season. Way up and away. He was the first rookie in San Francisco history and the 3rd in franchise history to hit a pair of grand slams in the same season. 28-year-old veteran from Mississippi, and he takes strike 3. To the top of the order, and Dwayne Wise, single and a double, and has scored a run. Has struck out the last 2 times, 2 for 4.
Here's a big key for San Diego, something they did not do tonight. Get into the bullpen early of these Toronto Blue Jays. How about this comparison? Blue Jays bullpen 4.35 ERA. Padres bullpen 2.53. I think that's a big key. You know, Markham took him deep into the game, obviously, and got some early support. So Cito Gaston didn't have to go to the bullpen.
Well, Markham, true to form, they said he was a control pitcher. Didn't walk a man. That ball hit deep down into the right field corner. Hooking. Foul. That was close to another home run. Wise just coming up from the minor leagues, catching the fever.
Well, Dwayne Wise started his professional career back in Billings, Montana in '97, and that was about maybe 6 feet or so. Second time around for the outfielder with Toronto back in 2000.
Count runs to 2-2. Bases empty. John Buck put another jolt into one. Couple of home runs for the catcher for the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's it for the Blue Jays in the 8th, but they get another run on Buck's home run. We go to the last of the 8th, 6-3, Toronto. A reminder, tomorrow, 6:30 pregame show brought to you by the 9 Honda dealers of San Diego County. Check out the latest offers on a brand new Honda Civic. Scott Downs, the 34-year-old veteran left-hander from Louisville, Kentucky. Pitched for the University of Kentucky, was a freshman All-America there. He's 1-5 this year. Faces Eckstein to start the 8th inning. 1-5 with a 3.71 ERA, opposing hitters batting .248. Strike, 1-1.
Scott Downs, fastball, curve, slider. He has 15 holds on the year, and he's been a Jay for a while. This is 312th game that he's appeared in for the Blue Jays.
First came up with the Cubs, who drafted him. A high hopper to short. In the hole is Gonzalez. Low throw, but it's dug out by Overbay for the out.
We just had an earthquake, boys. Feel it?
Mm-hmm.
We're shaking. Yes. Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah, you betcha. It's going. It's still going.
Still a pretty good rumble going.
Still going.
Yeah, that's felt throughout the ballpark, and some minor after rolls. We had a little side-to-side shakeroo. I thought that was you doing the funky chicken at first, but
no, when I do the funky chicken, this place will be rocking.
It will be shaking. Play continues. Chase Headley, unlucky hitter tonight. Did strike out once, but he's hit the ball very hard twice. Once right at the first baseman, and another shot to center field. Batting right-handed for the first time. And this one, a slow chopper to short. Tough play, Gonzalez. Oh, he makes that beautifully. Terrific throwing arm, Gonzalez. And off balance, leaning low, and whips that submarine throw across for the out. So Gonzalez has taken care of Eckstein and Headley for the first 2 outs in the 8th inning. And now Adrian Gonzalez. Look at that move.
Oh, especially on the backhand. This is unbelievable. usually a shortstop will have that, that glove out in front of him, but he elects to go with the backhand and then the quick transfer and a nice solid throw at short.
I thought he'd go barehanded, make the play, but he got it in and out of the glove so quickly. So 2 outs. Adrian has hit his 15th homer of the year, 1 for 3. Came with the bases empty back in the 4th inning.
You can see the foul pole still swaying back and forth.
Two and 0 to Adrian. His home run, and he's fly to center and popped to third. Shift not drastic this time. They play it more straight up with the left-hander on the mound. Way outside, 3 and 0. Adrian has walked 40 times this year, among the league leaders, intentionally 13 times. Scott Hairston on deck. 6-3 Toronto here, last of the 8th inning. There's a strike. Fastball, and Gonzalez couldn't find it. 3 and 2. And he strikes him out. So Scott Downs, no problems in the 8th inning, retires the Padres in order. We go to the 9th, 6-3 Toronto. (235th) birthday on this date, and we salute the military. It's presented by the San Diego Imperial County Red Cross chapter and its services to Armed Forces program. More information, visit sdarc.org. Some of our guys relaxing. Luxury box. Top of the 9th, 6-3 Toronto. It's Hill, Bautista, and Wells. Well, we knew about that middle of the order, Bautista, Wells, and Gonzalez, all in the top 10 in home run hitting. But they collectively are a soft single in 10 at-bats tonight. It's been Aaron Hill with a pair of doubles to drive in 3 in the 2nd spot in the batting order. And John Buck, the catcher, hitting 7th with 2 home runs, driving in the other 3, doing the damage. Gallagher into his second inning of work, gave up the home run to Buck. Greeted him to open the 8th. Said before, here's a second baseman with 9 home runs, and with his 3 RBIs tonight, 24 of those.
I think of second baseman throughout, the time I've been a baseball fan. I think of home runs. Ryan Sandberg, Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent, that's a good call. Curveball. Apparently too low. That ball hit toward the left field corner, and it's away from Scott Hairston. Fair ball just inside the foul line. Aaron Hill, 3 doubles in the game. He's found his spots in that left field corner. And time for a comparison brought to you by the San Diego County Toyota dealers. How about this as Jose Bautista steps in. Bautista, Wells, and Gonzalez, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Toronto.
Man.
Oh, at the start of the night, they had 46, and the Padres had 45 as a team. But 2 solos tonight for San Diego edges them as a team, 1 ahead of 3 men in the Toronto lineup. A comparison from San Diego County Toyota dealers.
Boy, no pitching around those 3 hitters, huh?
But they haven't done the damage tonight. It's been Hill at the top of the order and Buck down the lower end. Hill had, there's a little looper over Eckstein's head. Hill had to hold, so he moves only to third as Bautista has a broken bat single. Shows you how this game goes. Aaron Hill coming into this game all season long. Doubles 6, 3 tonight. 6 in more than 2 months of play. So first and third, and a double by Hill and a broken bat single from Bautista. And here's Vernon Wells, 0 for 4. Hits now for Toronto in the game. In fact, other than the pitcher, Vernon Wells, the cleanup man, the only Blue Jay that's hitless.
Hoping for a grounder here. Infield tight.
Hitter's delight.
So you got to utilize that sinker down and in, or that slider down and away. Trying to cut off that run at third base.
No one out. Fastball strike. Yeah, the Blue Jays, true to their reputation coming in, extra base hits, leading the National or the American League, probably the major leagues. 6 extra base hits tonight. Chopper foul. 2 home runs by the catcher Buck and 4 doubles, 3 of those by Aaron Hill there at third base. The other from leadoff man Dwayne Wise. They've scored a run off Mojica in relief of Garland, and now another on Gallagher, and threatening for more. Line drive, shortstop, and hit so hard and so fast to Hairston, neither runner had strayed far enough to double him up. So Wells, tough luck hitting. He's 0 for 5 tonight. A bullet right at Hairston.
Did you see where that pitch was as well? That pitch was up around the Toronto on the chest of Vernon Wells. He got up top of that ball and smoked it right to Jerry Hairston. I know Major League Baseball has a great dental plan. It may have come into play there if Hairston doesn't get his glove up in time. A rocket. Man.
He's in on the grass, so it didn't take long for it to get to his glove. Alex Gonzalez struck out, walked, and looped a single to center. Now the double play can get Gallagher out of the inning. So Hairston and Eckstein back up. Play midway now, so they can go either way to the plate or a double play. Gonzalez doesn't like that call. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Padres have Scott Hairston, Torey Alba, and Venable to hit. Looks like they'll be facing a right-handed reliever. Greg is the big save man for Toronto. He's saved 15 this year. Kevin Gregg, he's ready. He's been throwing for a while. First and third, one out. That one popped up. Gonzalez backpedaling. 2 away. So Sean Gallagher induces Wells to send a line shot to short, and Gonzalez to pop weakly to first. 2 out. Infield can back up, and manager Buddy Black is going to go to his bullpen and bring in Joe Hatcher, the left-hander, to pitch to the left-handed batting Lyle Overbay. And this pitching change is brought to you by San Diego Harley Davidson, always country first. Where you can enjoy a wonderful evening. Happy hour goes 7 days a week. Joe worked third of an inning last night. Gave up a run in yesterday, a couple of hits to the Seattle Mariners as the Mariners went on to a 4-2 win. It was the first run allowed by him over a month. Trying to get the final out here in the top of the 9th inning with runners at first and third, and Overbay, the left-handed batter, up. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Ball 1. So Thatcher brought in by manager Buddy Black to just try to get this one out and get in the dugout and hope the Padres can stir up something in the last of the 9th.
You know, sometimes you drive to work. In this case of Joe Thatcher, driving down the freeway with one thing in mind. I've got to get one guy out tonight. That's going to be my job. Jesse Orozco did that for many years. Tony Fossis made a heck of a career out of coming to the ballpark, getting one guy out.
And he hasn't come close to throwing a strike yet. 3-0. We get unofficial report that the earthquake was sizable, 5.9, and no official word as to where it was centered. Top of the 8th inning. In the scorebook is where it was centered. Actually, the last of the 8th. I think David Eckstein was up at the time, was he not?
You know, I couldn't remember.
9:27 in the evening. chop foul, so it'll go to a full count to Overbay. And let's hope it didn't have any serious results.
Yeah.
It did shake up Petco Park. Was swaying, our booth swaying. You saw the cameras moving. The runner goes. The pitch is strike 3 called. And the inning over, so the Blue Jays with a chance to score more. First and third, and no one out. Come up empty. It's 6-3. As they stand up to cancer by signing the Stand Up to Cancer wall here at Petco Park. You can also purchase a Padres Stand Up to Cancer patch at the Padres store or online. 100% of your patch purchase goes directly to cancer research. Visit padres.com/SUTC to make a donation and learn how you can stand up to cancer. The Toronto Blue Jays closer is Kevin Gregg. He has 15 saves this year.
Not real eye-popping numbers from Gregg as you take a look. Fastball, cutter, slurve, and a split. He can get erratic at times. As I mentioned earlier, the bullpen collectively for the Blue Jays, 4.35 ERA. That's 8th in the American League.
And Scott Hairston works the count to 2-1. Gregg, with his 15 saves, is tied for the second spot in the American League, just one off the pace of Rauch and Soriano. He misses there, 3-1. 6-3 Toronto. Hairston singled and scored in the 7th inning, an unearned run. Sean Markham, 7 innings, 3 runs, only 2 earned. And swinging and fouling back. Markham's 7 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Scott Downs worked a perfect 8th inning in relief with 1 strikeout. And now Kevin Gregg trying to close the door on the Padres. Another foul off first. That one will sail back.
What we saw on Kevin Gregg's line, 26 innings pitched. To give you an idea how erratic he can get, 17 walks in those 26 innings. So you get a couple of base runners. Who knows what can happen?
That's why he's 0-2 with the 15 saves. 4.50 ERA. That's really high for a closer. And he does walk the leadoff man. So Scott Hairston to first. That's the start. Cito Gaston not happy about that opening effort from Gregg. You got a 3-run lead. You want to walk, give them a free ticket. Padres need base runners. Let them hit their way on. Torrealba, infield hit, grounded to short, and was safe on an error by shortstop Gonzalez. And had some potential back in the 7th inning for a big inning. But the Padres managed only 1 run with the bases loaded, no one out. Slider misses outside. Padres with a couple of home runs tonight, but with the bases empty, Hairston is 4th and Gonzalez number 15. Outside again. That earthquake that rumbled through here an inning ago made him move that plate off center. Let's hope. 2-2 the count.
Either that or wake up the Padre bats here in the 9th inning. Hey, this team has shown late life. We've seen it before. It's the best reality show on TV, Padre baseball. Stay tuned. ... Well,
the ratings reflect that people are doing just that. Fans watching it through. Another foul by Torrealba. Count 2-2. That go into the media center, the press box.
Yes, it did. Looking for Bill Center's computer.
That's right. Take an aim. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torrealba, no one out here in the 9th.
No.
Strike 3 called, and Torrealba can't believe that. He thought it was high, and he'll get thrown out. Of course, that plate umpire Larry Vanover, and get out of there, Torrealba, before you get yourself on suspension as well. That's the first out of the 9th. Of Vanover, it's been a puzzling call for him tonight because he's been very tight in his calls but consistent. Then the last couple innings, all of a sudden he's calling pitches, strikes that were not strikes earlier in the game.
Well, the pitch that was thrown was a curveball from Greg. Now,
it says it was on the line.
I thought as soon as that ball was caught, that's why I said what I said. I thought it was inside.
And umpire Vanover was right. That was a strike. Torrealba.
He's going to get in trouble with that. You see the helmet make contact with his hat?
So Torrealba with a 2-2 count took a tight pitch, and it was good enough to be called a strike.
You know, though, Dick, you make a good point. We saw it, the track, it hit it on the corner.
Right.
But the point that you made, it was a pitch. He hasn't been calling that all night. You know?
That's true, but I mean, the evidence was there that it wasn't like the ball was way out of the strike zone. And even from the side view, it was well below the letters. It was just the fact that it looked like a hanging curveball, and it spun down in the zone. And Venable now finds himself with a count 1-2. 1 out, runner at first. Venable looping single to left center in 3 at bats. 2-2. Greg getting that fastball up to 94 miles an hour. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Venable has gone down for the 2nd time tonight. So the Padres 1 out left, trailing 6-3. Jerry Hairston will try to keep it alive. Homered into the 3rd tier of the Western Metal Supply Company, his 4th of the season for the first Padre run. That was back in the 3rd. Fly to right, and then with the bases loaded, no one out, got a pitch down the middle that just going to give him nightmares tonight that he didn't do something with it. He popped it up to shallow left field. Strike 1. trying to get on, bring the tying run to the plate. And the Padres are down to their final strike. Giants lead 10-2 in the top of the ninth inning against Baltimore. Giants are moving up the ladder. They win and the Padres lose. They're only a half game out of first place. Chopper toward second. And the putout made by Aaron Hill over to Overbay, and the Toronto Blue Jays have taken the opening game of this 3-game series. Fans greeting plate umpire Larry Vanover with a chorus of boos as he leaves the field. But it's the Blue Jays who conquer this opening game of the series 6-3, using a couple of home runs from catcher John Buck and 3 more runs produced by second baseman Aaron Hill, who collected 3 doubles in the